All right, now we're getting into the fun stuff. Not that anything else isn't fun, but I mean, we're talking about level 3, we're talking about hardcore, we're talking about being out there days, weeks, months at a time. We're off the grid, we're in the desert, we're in the woods, and the only people we can rely upon are going to be ourselves. So this is where having a very solid, a very good winching recovery kit is probably absolutely essential if you're going to be off grid and you're going to be doing those very difficult, very technical terrain things. That said, if you're smart and you're proactive and you can prevent yourself from getting stuck by turning around, that's always the best alternative. But if you are going to be out there, you're going to be kind of looking at kind of more of an exhaustive kit like I carry here. So like a level 2 trip, I recommend a tree saver. For a level 3 trip, I actually carry 2. This will allow me to use one as my main anchor point. I can use another one as a redirect, or I can split if I need to do some other creative things. So I do carry 2 tree savers. I actually have a third one. It just doesn't fit in this bag. Again, extra shackles. So again, I have 2 soft shackles here. I have 2 hard shackles here. I have 2 more soft shackles and 2 more hard shackles on my toe strap bag. There's also 2 more soft shackles on that kit from High-Vis with my kinetic recovery rope kit. So you can never have too many shackles. So they're everywhere. Another good thing to have is a winch line extension. So this winch line extension is just a very simple, looks just like winch line because that's exactly what it is. It just has eyes on both ends so that I can use it as an extension. This will work great through something like a pulley block for a redirect or a 2-to-1 system. So that toe strap that I have can also be used as a winch line extension. Perfect example of this. One of our dealer buddies, Grant, down with Freedom Van Gogh in Florida, before he got into Sprinter vans, he was a Subaru guy. I was with Grant when we winched his Subaru up the Dickey Bell Trail in Uwharrie, North Carolina, and we used every winch line extension that we had. We used all of our toe straps, all of our shackles, because again, you can never have too many shackles. And we made this like epically long winch line for his Subaru to get up Dickey Bell. So that's kind of why when you start getting to that more extreme terrain, you're taking a vehicle somewhere where it's going to be a little bit more technical, you don't have the option to turn around. A little bit of extra reach goes a long way. So again, this from my level 3 kit, plus that strap from my level 1 kit stack, and now gives me an extra 60 to 70 feet of reach beyond my normal winch line. Now, when I was talking about a 2-to-1 system, that's when you use 1 pulley block. Well, when you start getting into more advanced rigging, I have this from Factor 55, which is their rope retention pulley. This can be used with a soft shackle as kind of a alternative to the heavy, clunky metal steel type pulley blocks. So this thing can be used again as a winch line redirect or in a 2-to-1, or if you combine it with another pulley and do a 3-to-1 system. So you're starting getting a little bit more complicated. The other piece of fun gear that I have from Factory 55 is this piece right here. This is a load distribution plate or a rigging plate. So it's got a couple different options for the holes. It's got some graduations on here for angles to help you calculate how much load you're gonna be putting into various components of your system. This thing can also be used to shorten a winch line extension. Very cool trick. I'm not gonna show you why, because you should go get training. Go get training. They will show you how to use things like this and things like this in very cool, unique, creative ways. But again, the nice thing is these things are aluminum, so they are a little bit bulky, but these two things still weigh less than this. Okay, so when you start getting into the more advanced trips and you start getting into the more advanced gear, get into the aluminum stuff, it's a little bit more expensive, but having it as part of your kit for something like a level 3 trip does really help with those self-recoveries. And again, just as a reminder, don't leave your wired winch controller at home. Ask me how I know, don't do it. But all of this gear for my level 3 kit is organized in one of the Blue Ridge Overland Gear recovery backpacks. And one of the cool features about this bag is the fact that the inside is lined with yellow tarp. So again, I can look down at this bag and I can see all of this gear. It's not a big black hole. Some mesh pockets, so things like my extra shackles can go in a mesh pocket. The pulley block can go in a mesh pocket. My winch remotes can go in another winch pocket with the gloves. Now, like all BROG products, this bag is made out of Cordura. features Powell's loops, so you can attach MOLLE accessories. There are two very sturdy handles at the top of this bag, but probably the coolest feature about this bag, and one of the reasons why I love having it as part of my kit, is this right here, backpack straps. Very rarely are you ever making a recovery that requires this kind of kit on easy flat terrain. A lot of times you're going to be hiking up a hill, so having these backpack straps means I can carry my recovery gear. I've got my hands free. I can carry other gear, whether they're traction mats, or I can grab my strap bag. Now, when it comes to storing this bag, one of the coolest features about these backpack straps are they're actually removable. You can remove the strap. There's two clips at the top. There's two clips at the bottom. You can take the yoke, stick it in the top, and it's good to go. This makes this bag easier to store. You don't have all those backpack straps hanging off the back, so if you're putting it in a drawer in the back of an SUV, they're not going to get tangled up on anything. But a word to the wise. Again, be proactive, not necessarily retroactive. So if you know you're going to be in an area where you might need this winching kit, take the time to rig the shoulder straps ahead of time. Make sure your bag is easily accessible. It's not buried in the back of a drawer or buried under all of your clothing, behind your fridge, your food, whatever. Make sure this is easily accessible when the time comes. So to wrap up level 3, when you're on a long distance trip, you're in remote territory for an extended period of time, probably the only person you're going to rely upon is yourself. So for me, when I'm on a level 3 trip, I'm carrying a lot of gear. Now, I didn't just instantly snap my fingers, run out and buy all of this gear all at once. It is stuff that I slowly accumulated over a number of years, and my kit just kind of slowly grew based on my needs, based on my experience, based on my training, based on the types of trips that I go on. So again, don't be intimidated and think, oh my God, I've got to buy all this stuff. That's not the purpose of this video. This video is really to kind of show you how to store and organize it, how to transport it, how to keep it clean, how to keep it accessible. So again, when I show you all of the stuff that's in this bag, it's more to show off how big this bag actually is. Same thing with these bags over here. There are two different types of bags for two different types of straps. So this bag is really great for a flat toe strap. This bag is great for the big braided kinetic recovery ropes. Also too, you can use this large recovery bag as a basic winch kit. If I wanted to take out the tree saver, the pulley block, and the shackles and stuff like that, I could actually load all of that into this bag. And then I basically have a small basic winch kit that I can access that doesn't take up nearly as much room as this. So if all you're doing is say a level 2 trip, you can make a level 2 winching kit in a bag this size. You don't need to, buy this big bag and stuff like that. But then also too, you can stack. So if you're already doing level 1 trips and you have a small strap kit like this, or something like this with a kinetic recovery rope, get a second one of these large recovery bags, put your winch line extension, your pulley block, your stuff in there like that. And it's gonna take up a little bit less room than a big clunky bag like this. Now, all of that said, all of the recovery gear in the world is not worth never getting stuck in the first place. That is the best recovery. The best recovery is not getting stuck. And again, taking classes from professional instructors not only can show you how to use the recovery gear, but they can show you how vehicles get stuck in the first place. You can also take behind the wheel driving classes to help you make you a better driver so you're less likely to get stuck. I love it when I come back from a trip and I never have to touch my recovery gear. That's not to say that I don't use it from time to time, but usually when I do, it's again for something stupid, or the last time I used my winch, I had to winch myself downhill. The time before that, the last time I used my winch was to move a fallen tree. Because again, I'm not afraid to turn around. I'm not afraid to find an alternative way, but just in case I have the gear. So there you go. There is a quick summary on organizing recovery gear based on the type of trip. Some little tips and tricks for the types of gear that you might need on that type of trip. But again, you don't have to buy everything that I have. This is my personal recovery kit based on where I go with my Jeep and the types of trips that I do. So don't be intimidated like you gotta buy everything. You can start small. The strap bag was one of the first pieces of BROG gear I ever got. That's why it still has the old zipper pulls on it. And then I just kind of slowly added more and more kit to it over the years. We've got organization solutions for you.